just this last year. So welcome to the Her Resources podcast,
Thank
Carrie.
you so much for having me, and it's great to get to see you both in person after
Yes,
so
it is.
long.
I know it has been a
Yes.
long time, so it is. That's the nice, fun thing about this
Yes.
podcast too. We
Love
get to
that.
reconnect with old friends.
So, Carrie, your second chance at life came at 31. Still blows me away.
I know.
After experiencing a heart attack, how did that moment reshape your personal life?
Yeah, it changed everything, really. It was in 2009. I was 31 years old. I was on a 60-mile bike ride with friends, which it wasn't unusual for me to be out on a 60-mile bike ride. I was a triathlete. And all throughout the ride, I was experiencing symptoms that at the time I had no idea had anything to do with my heart. As Linda mentioned, heart attacks show up very differently in women than in men. And so I was told later that all of the symptoms that I was experiencing that day were indicative that I was having a heart attack. I first just felt lightheaded, then I felt like I had congestion, then I had neck and shoulder pain. And this was all stuff that I explained away of, yeah, I didn't eat enough before we started riding, or
Yeah.
maybe my
Yeah.
position on the bike is weird and causing this pain. And it wasn't until about the last 10 miles or so that I started to feel pressure in my chest. And it still wasn't super alarming. It wasn't a sharp pain. It just felt like pressure. And that's what didn't go away. But lucky for me, my friend that I was on the ride with that day didn't take no for an answer when he insisted that we go to the hospital. We waited in the
Goodness.
waiting room for about an hour in the ER and then finally got in to see a doctor, and they ran multiple tests. They were checking all different things, my gallbladder, nothing was indicating anything wrong. And so finally the doctor said, "Oh, you have a family history," of which I always put in my record. And as soon as he said that, I knew that must be what was happening. And I
That
think
must have been scary.
yeah, I think he saw the change in my
Yeah.
face, and he's like, "It's probably nothing. We just want to rule it out, but we're going to do a blood test." The blood test showed that my heart was in distress, but they still didn't know why. So the cardiologist had been called. The nurses went into emergency mode to prep me and sign off all these waivers and get ready for the catheter lab.